This is on him. This was not
Come
my
on,
idea.
Don't we have copyright issues?
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Wayward 7. My name is Will, and I am the Forever DM as always. Welcome back to another exciting episode.
Yeah!
Yay!
Episode 20!
Episode
Yay!
29? We're almost at 30?
We're almost at 30.
Oh, big 3-0.
Oh
my god. No, I'm not going to make those references. They're cursed. Welcome back, everybody. I hope we're in for an exciting episode. I know we are. But before we get started tonight, let's move on to some exciting stuff. Reagan's back. Hey!
Yay! Happy to be here.
Great.
So excited.
Ethan?
Uh-huh.
What's that? What did you bring in my studio?
It's a toolbox. It's Father's Day. It's Father's Day this Sunday, and what's better than tool? If there's a tool in your life, make them subscribe. Listen, everybody knows a tool. Oh, well, because it's like, you know, like that orange store with the bumpin' music, and they're like, it's Father's Day, buy tools. You know what I'm talking about?
Last minute gift ideas.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah. Okay. Sponsor me, please. So,
oh my god, I died.
Listen. If you're not watching this, but if you're watching this,
Ethan's willing
please,
to do whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. I can beg with this hand. Hang on.
Oh, there you go.
Oh.
About to say.
What's the effort?
It's arthritic.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Okay.
Why did his new hand get arthritis?
Please. But anyway, happy Father's Day. Very seriously, shout out to everyone's parents. You wouldn't be here without them. It's true. Physically, it is true. No one would be here without parents. Anyway, that's there's.
Continuing on.
Anyways.
Don't be a tool. Subscribe to our channel.
Really? Okay, that was a play.
Alright.
I thought. Okay, thank you, Ethan. All right. Wow, Lauren, you don't.
Usually I can bounce off of him pretty well and like go into my spiel.
That is a bold statement.
Okay,
I think that's insulting to both of us.
I think she does a great
I'm
job.
insulting myself with
No,
it.
I'm saying what
You're
Will
anyway.
said isn't insult to both of
And?
us.
Love you, babe.
I'm rooting for you.
You know
Lauren.
what? Fathers also.
Say what you need to say.
You know what fathers also love? Quality time. You know what we love? Quality time with you, our audience. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the Wayward 7. We post updates. We post shorts. We post spoilers without context.
Those are my favorites.
I have a lot of fun creating all
So
the
much
content.
SpongeBob.
Oh yeah. And I'm trying to rid the curse of Forever DM on Will. So
Because I have given up.
So hopefully I can put a poll out, or y'all can just suggest who you'd like to see next in the DM chair. Maybe you can we can bring it back to Ethan, and we can probably save him from the cheese smoothie.
Yes.
If you put him there next, or if you want to watch him suffer, we can put someone else there. Your pick.
We haven't hit our goal yet, Ethan, for your cheese.
We've not.
So,
If you want to like expedite that journey, follow.
And I really would appreciate if you expedite that journey, because again, I will reiterate, it's already expired by a long shot. So the sooner you get us there, the less likely it'll be that I will kick the metaphorical bucket.
And literal?
I guess.
I'm just saying, that's a
We
bad
don't
cheese
want
touch.
to lower our number of players, so please don't kill Ethan.
Yeah, so hashtag save Ethan. And I think we're ready to get into tonight's game.
Yeah, what a
All
fun,
right. Yeah, sorry,
easy
Ethan,
opening.
For condemning you.
You insulted me.
Oh, it took you that long.
Hey, welcome back. You guys good? You guys good? You got your Reagan?
Don't put a
Behaving?
I'm sitting on my hands. You say Anna?
Anyway, so last time we left off, the party made it to the city of Hamar and met some interesting folk. The brothers and sister, Winsel, Throp, and Gwyneth. Tourists by trade and touring other tourists around. They offered the party some of their very cheap business premier services with free refills, and they get to keep the cup.
Get to keep the cups.
Oh yeah.
You know what a deal, guys.
And took a tour around the city of Hamar, a port city, one mostly focused on military vessel building. However, some initial plans of finding a ship were cut short as soon as they discovered that not everybody's really allowed in the harbor, and you can't really go around without a favor. A favor that a one Throp seemed to have.
Allegedly.
With that being said, they negotiated for quite some time, discussing other ways without going to the harbor, but eventually a deal was reached. In return for leaving 500 gold with Throp, he would use his favor to get them inside to speak to the commander, and hopefully they would find a way to get passage to the city of Arela, far, far past the desert and jungle. With that being said, we pick up the next morning as the group wakes up. I would say Chris probably wakes up first and goes and does something. But Icarus, you look very awake as you kind of open the door. You do see that Winsel and Throp are already downstairs. Gwyneth, are you with them as well?
I think she's still getting ready.
Right. So, but you do see the two brothers down there talking to each other at the bar. You see Winsel kind of notices you and waves and goes back to what he's doing with Rob. But that being said, the rest of you, what's everybody doing?
Was I able to attune to anything?
Didn't seem to attune.
I'm going to go downstairs and I'm going to grab breakfast, tea, and sit at a table and feed Savannah and myself.
As you do.
I am still getting ready, but I think I'm done and I'm heading down. I'm heading down.
You head down and see your brothers at the bar.
Yeah.
You see Nastani, who is playing with what appears to be a small lizard-like creature about the size of a fat house cat.
I go sit next to Miss Maggie.
Okay.
I'm so curious. What is this?
Oh,
Good morning.
this is Savannah. Good morning. Zafana.
Zafana.
Zafana, yes.
You're Nastani.
I'm Nistani.
Nistani and
Zafana.
Zafana.
She's my companion on the road.
Well,
Emotional
very
support.
cute.
Emotional support.
I'm not here, sorry.
Very cute.
One day she'll be big enough for me to ride her, and then we can fight together.
Well, that's exciting.
Right now, she just likes to eat rocks.
Oh.
She's just like sitting there with like a rock in her hand. Going,
Just kind of like gnawing on it, breaking off chunks.
She can be friendly, but after she's eaten.
I wasn't planning on. I'll just sit here and watch.
So, what time are we trying to go see the big dog?
So you've walked downstairs and talking to Throp, or?
Throp, yeah.
Well, I suppose you can go when you're ready and when I have my payment.
I'm so sketched out about this.
I know.
It's only happened one way, sorry.
I look up and I notice you two talking and I stand up and I'm like, well, we can go right away. Just, we just need the insurance. My brothers are pretty set on that.
Alright. Should we do 100 apiece? Then I'll do the extra 100 from Rinska.
That brings us up short, right?
I chip in, but I bought more cups.
I was thinking of Chris throwing in as well. How many cups did you buy?
Enough not to have 100.
How much do you have?
Cups? A lot.
I will pick up the slack.
No, it's okay. I can pick it up. How much? 100?
Yeah.
Alright, yes. 100.
I love my new friend, girl.
So 100 from you,
Yes, 100 for me.
100 from you.
200 for me because I'm
200.
accounting for rent.
100 for me.
Okay, that's 400.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, I can do 150
Well,
if we really.
Wait, so it was,
100, 200. So it's 400.
and then she said she would pick up the slack.
I would pick up this. So,
You don't have that money.
dang it.
You don't have 100.
But you're my brothers.
I'll do the other 100 since he paid for the horses.
Okay. So, 300 from you. 100, 100. Got it. So after kind of pulling it, you watch this Throp. Give it back once you go safe passage. And you watch as he slams his hands together with the bags in the middle, and they're gone.
Just like Miko used to do.
Is he a frog by chance?
Alright.
Dwarvish for 20 years.
Well, I say we get some food and head on down.
Alright, well, eat up and I will meet you by the gates of the shipyard. I've got to talk to some people. Yep, I'll be there. Meet me there when you're ready.
Right, I'll stay with the party, and I'll guide them to where they need to go.
Alright, Whistle. On it! Let's go. And the two of them head out.
Alright.
Can I just go to the bar, get some basic bacon, sausage,
Yeah.
maybe a biscuit?
Sure.
I'm just going to nurse my teeth.
I will do the same as Birdman.
Save
Thanks so much.
hearty breakfast, a gold
Okay.
for the whole meal. For a tea, a silver.
I'm gonna eat like a biscuit, maybe like pick on it.
Yeah.
A
A
bit-
copper.
yeah. Since I can't pick up the 100.
2 copper. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Your gold is in your inventory.
Yeah.
Which you have 15.
Swell.
You're doing good. That being said, you guys take your time, have your breakfast. Anything you want to go do before going to meet Throp, or
I guess we could head straight there, but keep an eye out to see if there's any interesting shops.
I could take you to some interesting shops. No price.
They did say she knows the best shops.
We're not gonna be able to buy anything because we just used most of our money though. Should we wait until we get our money back?
Well, when you get
That's-
your money back, it'll be on your way.
Well, I
We're in
assume.
quite the predicament.
I think we would need to go negotiate the passage and then get the money. And I assume, as I understand, the commander will give us some task that will take some time to do.
Yes.
So in that time, we can get our money back and use that to
Yeah.
shop.
Sounds good.
Yes.
all right. So, that being said, heading out straight to Throp.
What time is it back home?
Back home.
Mm-hmm.
It is morning, so it's starting to settle down there. People in their kind of eternal night are starting to go to sleep.
I'll hold off on calling him then because he will probably be going to sleep.
Okay.
We can meet together.
Alright. So, with that being said, easy enough. You march your way down the main thoroughfare of the city, the timber flow, all the way to the entrance to the shipyard, in which you do see Throp is kind of standing there with Wenzel talking to some of the Hrothgar and a member of the Eilifgar as well. And as he approaches, says, "Oh, hey over here! Welcome. These are my friends." And you kind of see that both guards have their kind of face mask and helmet played down and kind of just look over and kind of, as Rob says, they have agreed to accompany you to see the commander, and they must stay by your side the whole time, and you will be on your best behavior.
Well, if
They
they
know
can deal
us.
with you, they can deal with us. I assure you.
Gwen, if you'd like to go with them, just to make sure everything smooths over.
Of
that'd be
course.
great.
I already offered to help, so I will keep by my word.
Great. Well, they're on high alert today because there's something going on. So I do implore you to be on your best behaviour, because it would mean severe consequences and comes.
Well, parting words, I implore you to be on your best behaviour.
I will be waiting. Becca, ordering. So, just follow my mates here, and I'll see you when you make it on the other side, yeah?
Yes,
Hopefully with good news.
always.
Alright.
I'm gonna turn to the guards. Thank you for escorting us.
Can I see the two guards? Just
I know it's your job, but I also am thankful.
keep it between us. And
It
can I
can
see
be
the
a bit cold.
Islet guard kind of steps forward and come on. And you see as you get inside the large gate here, this very fortified wall, you see that there is quite a good number of members of the Islet guard that are kind of keeping patrol, keeping watch. You see people up on top of the ramparts, kind of looking down over the city. You see many past, and beyond this, you see what appears to be a large shipyard with many people kind of going to and fro, large docks and beaches. But before you get there, the Islet guard kind of stops you. Weapons, everything on the table.
Okay.
Kind of gestures over there. You get them back when you leave.
Do you need our bags too, or just the weapons?
We'll search your bags. Put weapons on the table.
Okay.
I do not have much.
Okay.
I put my longsword on the table, as well as my lute, as well as my fan flute, as well as my other instruments that I have.
Kind of looks confused and just decides to let it go.
Oh, question. Should I just keep her close by? And I'm pointing to Safana, who's...
Can't take it in.
Okay. Safana, be good. I'm gonna... How do I send her to her little realm?
She goes what she wants.
Okay. Savannah, stay.
Animal handling.
Oh, 17.
17. She sits.
I'm going to grab a rock from one of my bags, like one of the larger ones, and just place it next to her.
Just immediately starts breaking off chunks, and you kind of see the member of the Hrothgar who's kind of sitting and like presiding over the table, kind of just. You just see that Islet guard just kind of.
If you just give her rocks, it'll keep her busy.
They won't be long. So, is everybody putting everything on the table, or is anybody trying to smuggle something, or
No.
nothing?
No.
All right. As you- No? Okay. So, as you leave all of your weapons, your ammunition, that kind of stuff there, you move on to the next kind of checkpoint almost with another table, as you kind of see two members of the Islet Guard, more in robes rather than the armor. I see. All right, checking for items. All magical items, stay here. And you kind of watch. Stand in the circle, please. And you see that there is a small kind of runic circle set up on the stone floor here.
They have a TSA scanner.
They straight up do. Something's going on. Yeah. They're very much not wanting anything to go amiss here. But who's stepping up first?
I'll step right into it.
All right, Icarus, as you step onto it, kind of watch as they wave a hand, and there's this kind of bright, almost alarming red glow underneath you. Do you have any magic items on you?
Let me see. I left my bolts. I have the amulet.
Is that it?
That's it.
Watches, kind of stagnates for a second and says, clear, move. You
I'll go
step
next.
through. All right, you step through. I don't believe you have any magic items. Once again, a brief pause, and next.
I'll go. I take my ring of protection off.
Okay. Take it off and kind of put it on the table. You have any other magic items?
That's it.
All right, Nastani, as you step up, the red glow.
I believe it's just I have my necklace and the amulet.
Okay, are you taking them off, or?
I'm gonna keep it on, but if they say anything, I'll just take
Okay.
it off. Like,
So, as you go to step up, there's the bright red flare. Alright, they're clear. With that being said, he watches the Alifgar kind of accompany you and gesture for you to follow. And as you're now entering the main harbor here, you get a full glimpse of everything that is going on. You see the kind of very lengthy process of ship construction going on, from attaching the center board and weaving all the others to match in a symmetrical, perfectly fit, many long ships, many equipped, not with weapons necessarily, but platforms for them, you can tell. You notice lots of kind of, not necessarily Ilokar or Hrothgar, but other member like civilians, carpenters, many of them working in here, kind of going about, but many of them kind of wearing what appears to be a set kind of uniform, a blue tunic of sorts, as they kind of go about their business here. But one thing catches you off guard that doesn't quite fit. Amongst the large, long ships here, there is one that is far larger than the rest, and comparable to the others that have no cabins on them, this one has a quite large cabin and seems to be very regally decorated. It is quite something to behold here.
what's the name of the ship?
The name of the ship. Give me one sec. I wrote it down. The Eye.
The Eye. Is it like a cross royalty?
Make a history check.
18.
18. I would say that while you don't recognize this ship itself, you do recognize the crest that adorns the side of it. That of the High King Egil and his royal insignia that garners the walls back in Volhelm. And you notice that not only are there many of the Ilofgar here just on patrol, but there also seem to be different soldiers, still in uniform, still patrolling, but moreover on a straight line from where this ship is docked to one of the larger fortresses here. And with that, you start heading towards said fortification, following your designated guide here, until you get close towards the front of the door. And eventually, he kind of stops and turns around. Try anything funny, you will be dead. Seconds. I can promise you. And he kind of takes his hand and points, and you do see that there are numbers of ballista archers all kind of walking around the wall. While they're not trained on you, you do see that they are wary. And he kind of looks, we wait. Be patient. So, while this is going on, are any of you guys going to do anything?
Just gonna stand
just gonna
at
wait
ease.
patiently.
Wait.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys want to stop anybody or talk to them, or... Alright. No? I see you're thinking.
I feel like Chris would.
Yeah.
Did we leave Chris behind?
Chris is with you. Chris doesn't have anything.
Are there any Dragonborn here?
Oh, yeah, there's a couple Dragonborn moving about.
The closest one, Chris is just gonna be like, "Hey, how's it going?"
Kind of see the Ilokar stopping. Hey, keep going.
Gwyneth is gonna look at the guard and be like, so, what's been going on? Like, trying to, like, just smooth her way into small talk. Trying to understand, like, what is actually going on around.
Make a persuasion check.
26.
26, God. Okay.
23.
No, 15 plus... Oh, 8. Sorry. Yeah. 23.
23, okay.
Not 26.
Oh, man.
I was looking at my performance.
Such a low ball.
Now it fails.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Obviously we have guests of high importance to take the flagship down here. They traveled from the river. And, well, it's quite obvious that we have guests.
Hmm.
So,
I see the importance of high security.
quite so.
Mm.
So don't try anything
Of course.
and mind your manners.
You don't have to worry about us.
I admire the job that you have.
Right.
Very admirable. She's being honest.
Could you tell me about maybe the card game that was played?
What?
No, nothing. I'm just talking about. I thought I saw a couple guards playing cards outside.
You kind of see the eyes, the kind of face mask.
Yeah.
If I were you, I wouldn't bring that up here.
I got it.
And with that, there is a kind of heavy slam as the larger doors open up, and you can see an entourage of very heavily clad, fully plated knights, kind of moving forward, clearing the way, walking 4 on each side, kind of surrounding the figure in the middle. Those of you who have seen him recognize the large, kind of broad shoulders, the heavy, kind of graying fur cloak, the kind of scarred face, and the kind of missing eye, the long white beard, and the heavy cane that he kind of walks with. You recognize King Ijo as he steps out.
I'm immediately going to curtsy.
Okay, as you do.
Like a deep, respectful curtsy.
Okay, so you curtsy, you bow.
I'm bowing.
I don't think Gwyneth bows.
Okay.
I think Chris is like.
The herb does the same.
I think Gwyneth kind of like has a distaste for him.
Okay.
Darrow definitely bows. Gets down on a knee.
So as he
Now the same height as Icarus.
as he kind of steps by, he begins to kind of move past you on the boardwalk here, and stops and looks over for a second. A Silesian. How peculiar to let them in the docks. What's your name?
Icarus.
And you are here because of the pursuit.
Yes, sir.
Grand. It is something that should bring countries together, and it is something that people should look forward to. I disagree with the division, and I'm glad to see you here.
Thank you. I also disagree with the division.
Do you still fight with them in that uniform?
Truthfully, I've not been to my home country in a long time.
You have been here in Ross?
I think so, right?
Been here for maybe a couple of years, maybe a year.
For most of that time.
And you are welcome.
I've certainly not been unwelcome.
Progress. He just walks away. Kind of gives a nod to you, Icarus. But with that being said, with him go the kind of remaining paladins of Sordoms, following him towards the ship. And as they kind of clear the way, eventually Yalafgar kind of steps in and holds the door and says, "Command is this way."
I like him.
So that was the important guest.
You kind of see him walking back to his ship.
All right.
That was sick. But that being said, as you're led inside this very kind of large, almost maze-like structure, heavy stone walls, a large kind of passageway into the interior for perhaps moving things up and down, what you can now see as an elevator shaft. You do not go that way. Instead, taken off towards the corridors, through this winding maze, lefts, rights, lefts again. It would take some difficulty to navigate on your own, but the Yalafgar seems fairly confident where he's going until eventually he comes to a larger chamber where you kind of see the door is open. And Looking inside, you see a more highly decorated Ilifgar member. Similar robes, more of this kind of white furs over the shoulders. The kind of face mask, helmet-like object kind of on the table. Kind of just watch him slam it as it kind of flies across the wall and skitters on the floor. You kind of see the kind of face of this large Goliath with lots of tattoos of what appear to be fishnets kind of down the side of the face, and anchors and ropes and all sorts of things. He is very old, though. The wrinkles are showing. He looks tired. And he looks back. Who are you?
Hello, we are the Forerunners.
And I am Gwyneth. I am the sister of Throp.
Throp?
And Winslow. Yes.
You're friends of Throp?
No, well.
You're the sister of Throp?
Yes, but I assure you, I have... No, I do
He
not.
kind of makes a motion towards the Ilifgar, and the door shuts behind you guys. And he kind of watches. Pull up a chair. Kind of moves over to his desk and kind of hunches over.
Right.
Sit.
She sits.
How many chairs are there?
There's 3.
Alright, I'll stand behind one or maybe on the arm of one.
Okay.
Sit on the arm of one.
What brings you here, sister of Throp?
Well, as I was told, you owe my brother a favor.
An interesting way to put it. What do you want?
Passage.
To
Aurelia.
all of you?
All of us.
What else?
As far as I know. That's it.
If there is a way to take mounts, we would like it, but if not, that's fine.
He kind of takes a second, kind of paces. Walks over to a shelf, picks out a large book and kind of brings it back to the table, flips it open, starts thumbing through the pages. So he kind of brings up to one of the more recent pages that you can kind of see he's been writing on. You want to go to Aurelia?
Yes.
Slams the book shut.
Was I able to catch a glimpse at all at what was in the book?
Yeah, make a perception check.
11.
11. It seemed to be, from what you can tell, you were standing, so I mean you can see on the desk. It seemed to be maybe a list of times, perhaps voyages or so. You don't know if they're past, if they're upcoming, or what, but it does seem to be a list of things. You couldn't figure out any specifics, but I'd say you'd be able to tell, like, you know, you recognize this kind of ledger living near the ocean. Growing up, you would recognize that these kind of things are used to keep track of what ships go where. I have a convoy going in the morning.
In the morning.
That, or you can wait a month.
The morning sounds fantastic, sir.
However, Thropsteel was not to talk to me, but with him, and he points towards the Isle of Gar. But because he is a personal friend of mine, I will allow this intrusion.
I would like to apologize for my brother on his behalf.
Is the
Many would.
DM clarification, is the he being a friend of mine referencing Throp or the other guard?
Throp.
Okay.
If it's any consolation, I told him not to go.
You are part of the race.
Yes, we are.
I give you 2 options. Wait the time, and maybe I can see about putting you on a sooner voyage rather than later. Say, a week. I need to send shipments there anyway, but I could expedite the process for extra hands on deck. Or, you can go over with our friend here, looks back at the Isle of Gar, and he can help yourselves to one of the many issues we are having.
What kind of issues?
And he looks up towards the Alucard and says, yes, we have one of our shipments were taken. 3 crates, and they're gone. So
What are they?
and he kind of looks towards the commander here. You see, you will find out if you are to agree.
How dangerous is this?
Do you care?
I care.
Well, then I would reconsider your options.
We'll do whatever it takes.
And so, going with tracking down these crates, that is to get on a boat within a week.
Within the morning.
The crates were stolen from inside the city?
It was last night during our watch hours from within the shipyard.
Sounds like you need to update security.
Sounds like we're working on it.
Any leads on the suspect?
Looks back towards the Alucard. Not quite.
This could take us longer to do.
I will give you a day.
Alright, well, we better get going then.
Question. If we were to take voyage in the morning, would our mounts go with us, or would we need to make sure they're boarded here?
I can account for the mounts if you finish the task in time to let me know.
So we have no information of where these could have gone.
You will be given information upon accepting and beginning this task.
Card?
And if we can't find this person by the time the ship needs to leave,
The ship leaves.
would we have another option for a later ship?
I would say my patience would run out by then.
If we were to complete the task, even if the ship, even had just left, would doing that and also helping with whatever, extra hands on deck you needed for the ship that goes in a week, would we go on that one?
You are negotiating possibilities and don't sound certain of your skills. I suggest you look for other means of transport.
I'm certain of my skills, yes.
Then have some confidence.
Let's go then.
Well, we have much to do in little time.
Leave. He kind of turns around, places the book, and the Alucard opens up the door.
Right, where might we get this information?
Follow me.
Right.
So, you guys heading out?
Yep.
Alright.
But Gwyneth is not happy with this transaction. She does not like this commander dude.
I don't know what to tell you.
I'm just saying
Sorry,
it.
it's not
I'm
a
putting it
daycare
out
teacher.
there. I'm putting it out there.
You're not at Sunday school anymore. No, but as you follow the Alucard leading you back through the maze of tunnels leading to his chamber, eventually come back to the doors of this fortress, and kind of begins to take you towards the working shipyard, where all the kind of storehouses are for storing such materials for the ships, things that are being treated, lumber, that sorts of things, and where they're kind of stored for later construction, as they are producing many ships right now for some reason. But leading you back towards the large kind of wall, you see that there's a smaller storehouse kind of crammed right here towards the back, with a larger storehouse next to it. And you kind of see 2 guards posted outside. The doors open, and you kind of see that they're kind of just kind of keeping watch and go. Right, so last night these 2 here fumbled the bag, and well, they seem to have lost 3 crates. He kind of looks over towards the 2 Roskar here of weapons.
Is it a variety of weapons, or is it specific?
You agreeing to take on this task?
Yes, sir.
We have your gear, we have your items, and we have your names. Do anything shady, and you will be hunted down. I can assure you that.
So aren't we gonna need our gear?
You will do what you must.
So
Without gear.
Oh wow.
Without
What
the-
you have.
Well,
You want me to take on some thieves with my bare hands?
Do
That
you want to
seems
ship in the
relative.
morning?
Sounds like fun.
that seems relatively unfair
I also
considering
think
your
that sounds
guards
fun.
couldn't even.
Would you like me to take this with Commander? I'm sure he
So
would
do you have any
No,
leads?
we're good.
Do you have any leads on the suspect?
There's no leads. They'll
Yeah.
tell you everything. And kind of gestures towards to Horosco. Right, so, I was, the thing is, we were watching this, and we were awake. It was, you know, we was up. Our shift was from it was a morning shift, so it was kind of rough. But we were awake the whole time, I swear. Both of us.
5 check.
Make an insight check, yeah, go for it.
10.
He seems nervous. You get the sense he doesn't want to be lying right now in front of his commanding officer. Our shift was from our watch. You know, we do it all periodically. Everything happens. Everything. Our shift changes everywhere at the same time, right? And our shift was from midnight to 4, about 4ish on the dial. So we got done with our shift and went home. Well, we did go home eventually, but we noticed that before we leave, we typically check on it, make sure everything's good, and just do an inspection. You know, keep the logs right. And we went in, and nothing was in there.
How much? So it's 3 crates, you said?
We had 3 crates of spear guns.
Spear guns.
A lot of them
So
for mounting on the side of a ship. I mean, you can use them now, but it's for mounting. You know, harpoons, harness, like the whole. You know,
So is this like a warehouse?
this is one of the storehouses for the ship parts.
how large are the crates themselves?
I'll say maybe about 4 foot by 4 foot. They're packed full of straw and
Heavy.
the weapon. They're very heavy.
You would need
How
a
are we
wagon.
going to get?
You need a wagon, and not only that, but there's only one door into this thing. But I guess we could have made a mistake because we were away. I swear.
This might go a
But
lot
and he
smoother.
kind of looks inside, kind of pushes open the door and starts to kind of show you where everything is. Kind of shows you the spot where the 3 crates were, and it's a relatively small storehouse here. We didn't have much in here, but we do have that. And he points up towards kind of
Security camera.
the security camera and the videotape CCTV. The sides of this warehouse are kind of lined with what appear to be kind of rugged windows, very simple windows that kind of allow for light to flow in, so you don't have to have lanterns going all the time to see inside.
Are they like slit windows? Like they're not big enough for a person to get through?
They're decently big. They're
Okay.
decently big to let in enough light to let the whole room flood in. However, you do notice that one kind of large panel is broken.
Is it big enough for someone to get in?
Potentially, it's a large panel.
How high is it off the ground?
It's about 20 feet off the ground.
But the okay.
You gonna go look at it, or?
I'm gonna inspect it in the area on like the ground below it.
Okay. Sure, make an investigation check. Go for it.
Did you have someone watching this storehouse specifically?
Me and my mate right there, it was our storehouse, so we were
15.
15. I would say, as you go up to look at it, and you specifically said the ground below it, right? Looking at it, it appears to be kind of smashed. The kind of simple netting there, the wooden netting that was kind of kept the window in place, seems to kind of been bent out of frame. However, with 15, you notice something particular. There is no, there's not a lot of scraps of glass in here, and as you kind of take a walk out towards the exterior, you notice that the majority of the shattered window is outside of the building.
They didn't break in, they broke out.
So did you hear any glass shattering last night?
We didn't hear anything. That's
So-
the thing. We were up all night.
You were up all night. Heard
Yeah.
nothing.
We heard nothing. No, we.
Was there any suspicious activity the day before? Like any suspicious people nearby that weren't supposed to be over here or
No,
asking strange questions?
Everything was fairly up to code. We it was really just a cut and dry night. It was normal. We noticed it as soon as we went in to just do a routine check.
What area were these crates stored in?
Just kind of towards them. There was one right here, one right over there, and one right here.
Are there any like empty crates?
There's no. There's a table where some of the tools are for kind of prying them open for sealing them, but this seems kind of just like as a place to put things that don't have a place at the moment and move to a later location.
I was
Is
just
that-
There's
curious
not
if
really
somebody
anything else
had
in here.
been or came in
That's-
like in a crate or
That's
something.
what I was gonna ask. Like, is that a possibility?
Well, see, the spear guns are produced over there on the other side of the harbor, but they're within the walls, and each one is forged, packaged up there, full. And we checked; they were full. We checked the crates before we load them in here. So our tools over there.
How do you know what they were full of?
Well, we opened it. We,
Do
it's
inventory check?
we do an inventory check. Yeah.
So, the glass, it's not big. It's big enough per person, but not big enough for these crates, right?
Well, crates are about 4x4, so I mean, you could argue a wide person, I guess.
But did they leave the crates?
There's no crates. There's nothing in here.
Okay.
The crates themselves are gone.
Is there anything else aside from like the weird glass situation? Is there anything else that's like out of the ordinary on the ground where the crates were?
Make an investigation check.
Any evidence maybe that the crates had been opened there before leaving?
Before entering this area,
Before leaving,
before leaving where they're produced.
where they were sitting when the two Hrothgar believed they
I
were
see what
still
you mean.
there.
If somebody had opened them in the interim
Mhm.
between. Make an investigation check.
16.
16. I'd say, kind of looking around the floor, you see scuff marks here and there. You can see obvious places where wagons have been rolled in, rolled out. You do notice that this is a very old building. Definitely the bricks here have been very much kind of replaced over time. Not quite with the same bricks, but you kind of see that there are sections of the warehouse that have been placed with kind of red clay fire bricks versus the original stonework here.
Is this an area where I could use detect magic to see
You could
if
certainly try.
somebody? Okay.
Do y'all have any magic wards on any of your storehouses? Or are
Uh,
they just guarded by y'all?
Well, we kind of got them, but my thing, this warehouse doesn't. Some of our higher ones do, but this one doesn't because the wall's right here, and the wall's filled with people, and it's I mean it's the bastion here. I mean, it can't be
Should I
broken.
cast? Okay. I'd like to cast detect magic.
Okay.
And what were you looking for, Ethan?
I was looking to see if I could tell anything about the crates being opened. It was 17 for that.
17. As you kind of carefully paying attention where the crates were placed, as retold by the Hrothgar, you find kind of flecks of hay on the ground. It's not necessarily fresh, but it's packing hay. You're not sure if maybe this came from a recent activity or maybe when they were brought in for inventory. But otherwise, the floor seems relatively clean.
And how long ago were these spear guns moved to this specific house?
The day before. They were sitting here for a day, and then it was just happened.
How many people knew they were here?
There's a lot of people. It kind of went from the chain. So the iron workers all knew. The people who were going to be mounting them or placing the mounts for them, which were also taken, I also knew. I myself, all the people who were doing swaps also knew, but it wasn't a high priority thing because the 4 crates of iron spear guns. How are you going to take 3 crates of iron spear guns?
I cast detect magic.
Okay, cast detect magic. Read me detect magic real quick.
For the duration, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. You sense magic in this way. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn its school of magic, if any. The spell can penetrate most barriers, but it is blocked by 1 foot stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
I would say don't detect anything. Strangely enough,
What are the floors like in here?
they're stone. Stone brick, the same as most of the wall.
Can I look around and see if there's any sort of like way that somebody could have gotten in through the floor or something?
Sure. Make an investigation check.
I look at the guard. Has the wall always looked like that?
The
brick.
Yeah. So there's some repairs on the front, and we've had to put repairs on most of the buildings, but
How recently?
months ago.
Months ago.
Yeah. So they've kind of set that.
Alright.
But yeah. No, we don't have any of the original material to patch the walls with, so that's why it's still kind of like different bricks. Some of the wares use timber.
Can I look around outside to see if I notice, like outside the building?
Sure.
Investigation.
We'll get to that in a second.
I was gonna fly up to the broken window
Mm-hmm.
and kind of like going through it. Is it like a window on the roof or like on the wall?
It's on the wall, and there's broken glass around it. So, but I'd say looking at it, what are you trying to ascertain?
Or I guess maybe if I could like go outside and see there, maybe just kind of see like, I would want to check the ground in front of it and see if there's like any kind of landing or tracks or prints there, and then I would also want to see, particularly if there's not anything there, maybe like where someone might look to go from this point.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
So
I got a 14 on mine for the floor.
So looking at the floor, I'd say it's a solid stone floor. There's some cracks here and there, but they don't run deep. They don't seem to be kind of tapping around. It all seems to be fairly solid. The floor itself kind of just seems just old, if anything, but that's about it.
What'd you get?
5.
5. I would say you kind of make your way outside, looking in this kind of narrow alley. You kind of don't necessarily have to just kind of squeeze through with your wings, but you kind of keep them tight. I'd say you don't see anything. There's some sand, and you kind of see where some little brush is growing up, but it's mostly barren. There's no obvious tracks you can see.
So is that same for my check if I was outside?
Are you going to go look to there too?
Yeah, well, I was going to look around outside the building.
What are you looking for?
Anything that might, like blood
Blood?
off of the glass or something.
Anything
Or if
like
somebody got cut.
Sure. Okay.
Okay.
Make an investigation check.
15.
15. I'd say kind of going around to where Icarus is and kind of squeezing by him.
Excuse me.
pardon me.
I would say looks fairly untouched here, other than the broken glass.
Broken
Kinda
glass, okay.
looks-
Then go back inside. That's what I do.
Kind of looks what?
Huh? Kind of looks untouched.
So the walls, like you said that they're like brick, or
So the patches in the walls here and there are kind of made out of a red stone brick. Whereas the original wall itself seems to be kind of a deeper gray. They are kind of large, hefty bricks that seem fairly solid, but you kind of see the cracks and how eventually you would need to kind of begin to replace some of this or add support here and there. Because a lot of the bricks you can run your fingers through,
I had seen, was it Daryl who had used molders before?
Mm-hmm.
So having seen
Daryl used stone shape.
stone shape, having seen somebody use stone shape, would it look as if somebody might have used it to get in the building that way?
Make an investigation check.
Investigation. 20 not natural.
20 not natural.
Yeah.
Nistani, it takes a minute to do this at the full room, going over every crack and crevice, looking for any signs of stone shape. And as you kind of work your way around the door, down the left side, 10, 15, 20 minutes pass. As you kind of get to the back right corner of the room, you running your finger down the middle, it gets caught. And you notice there's no deep facet to these bricks here at the back corner. They almost seem to be welded together.
I'm gonna. Okay, is there anything on the ground nearby here? Like, does it look like something was dragged?
Make another investigation check, unless somebody else would like to do something while you're.
Yeah, can I go to the outside of where that is?
Yeah, I'm pointing it out to the people that are. That way they can see.
Yeah, so as you go around, dare to look around the outside, kind of begin to walk around and notice that this is the wall that connects to the barrier here, the large wall.
And what's on the other side of that?
It's as described by the Roskar, it is several feet thick, and is full of kind of different levels for people to kind of defend the harbor with.
So we'd have to go into the wall to see where that is.
Yeah, quite. Yeah, it's a very large wall.
That sounds like our only.
Is there a way to? Could you go to the other side of it or something? Because you can fly, right?
Yeah.
I rolled a 14 to look at the floor.
I'd say no scuff marks.
Can I talk to the what's the
Roskar?
soldier's name? Not the Roskar, but the
The Eilifgar?
Eilifgar. Is
Yeah,
he
he's-
still here?
He would be hanging out outside.
Okay. So I'll sort of tell him that we have a lead kind of into the wall, and like I'd be able to fly over the wall and look at the other side of it.
The wall's hollow. So I find it difficult to believe because there are people constantly moving back and forth through there. And any suspicious activity would immediately be reported by.
Sir, I find it difficult to believe that 3 crates of spear guns could disappear under the eyes of 2 Hrothgar.
I have a question about the wall. Do y'all use it to transport goods?
No, it's very narrow inside.
Okay.
I find it interesting that this is tasked for us, and you're limiting our ability to actually investigate.
How?
You won't let us go where we need to go. You're insulting our lead.
Is this where you think you need to go?
I think this is exactly where we need to go. Do
Did I
you
tell
have
you
any
you
better
couldn't?
ideas?
I said it would be hard for the crates to move through the wall.
We don't think that he took the crates through the wall.
The wall's made of stone, correct?
We think that's how he entered.
Alright.
If you have anything else for us to investigate, that would be much
So-
helpful. Very helpful.
Can you see if there's any tracks on the other side of the wall?
Will it be seen as shifty if I fly up over the wall?
He kind of just stands back and... We have somebody flying up! Don't shoot him! You can try.
Alright. I'll fly up. See if I can like kind of catch eyes with anyone on the wall.
Okay. You catch eyes and we kind of see people looking at you. People who heard him call and kind of look at you, and you kind of see that the Eilifgar beneath you is kind of waving them off. As some of them lower the crossbows, some of them still kind of wary, but nobody's fired.
So I'll kind of land on the wall next to them for a minute and be like, I'm investigating with him at the moment. I need to look at the other side.
Kind of looks down and kind of, is he with you? And you kind of say, yes! Let him do what he needs to! But, so, here up at the top of the rampart, you can see that it is quite, wide. There are there's these kind of large rails on top where you kind of see that the ballista and other sorts of fortifications can be moved around depending on the needs for defending this harbor here. But you see that there is kind of a large staircase that begins to head down if you'd like to go down there.
What's what's on the other side of the wall itself?
So on the other side of the wall, you do see the kind of road that kind of leads around the edge here. You see that there are, periodically stationed members of the Hrothgar who are kind of just like keeping watch, kind of at each rampart almost, each tower. that kind of bolsters the wall. Periodically, they're spaced about 50 feet apart each, but it seems to kind of go around. They seem to be taking security very seriously here.
So could I try to get to like the other side of the hollow wall, directly across from the storehouse, and see if there's either any tracks there or kind of a similar sort of evidence that Nistani found of stone
absolutely.
shape?
So it's going down there. Go ahead and make a investigation check for me.
I've been doing great at these, so this won't be any problem at all.
Well, you know what you're looking for.
10.
10. The ground here is well trodden. There are people passing by. You can see footprints from the shift of guards moving along the wall. So tracks would be hard to find here. However, going to the wall itself and kind of just feeling around, if you take about 10 minutes or so, you don't feel any similar marks to what Nistani found. All the bricks seem to be naturally placed here, like they originally were.
I look at the guard, or the guard. Is there any way that we could go inside the wall?
Yes.
Okay. How do we do that?
One would need to take a very long walk. If you're done here, though.
Who has access to the inside of the walls?
Mostly the Ilifgar, but Roscoe is stationed outside, typically on the ground. Ilifgar keep the walls in the interior. It's a passageway of boardwalks and stairs inside. My intuition tells me that it would be difficult to sneak 4 crates through the wall. 3 crates. I'm saying 4. 4 runners, 4 crate.
We each get a crate, guys.
There's 4 players.
Well, it's the only lead we've got so far, and I think we should
Unless-
follow.
No,
I mean,
there's the window.
I mean, unless they were to sneak in through the tunnel, well, through the wall, forgive me. I'm guessing that.
I also like to point out that the wall is very thick. It'd be a hard thing to tunnel through it.
Right. I mean, unless there's a reason for this to be welded this way.
No, you might be on something there, but that's about 10-20 feet
If somebody,
to the interior
I mean,
of the wall.
well, here's the thing: if someone was able to silently steal 3 crates of your weapons, I would assume they would have the intellect, or even the magic. Of course, the magic to be able to do this silently and still steal them and get away, with no evidence left behind aside from the missing.
I'm saying, if they had a way to disguise the crates in plain view, why didn't they go through the front door?
Did they go through the front door?
Well, it doesn't appear to be so.
But they don't know that. They don't know anything.
I don't know. They could have.
Might have just wanted less people to see the face.
But pointing out this evidence here, I would think that you're right. They probably got through this wall here. But I'm telling you that the interior wall is not something that is easily
Accessible.
Well, I think it's pretty safe to think that it might have been
Their entrance.
either a Haraska or one of yours.
What we can
looks over his shoulder at the 2 Hrothgar who are kind of like against the wall, looking nervous. You're more than welcome to question them.
So it's.
I don't think it was them.
We can assume that this was the entry point, and that was the exit point.
How would they get it out there? Do you have any people that can fly?
Or do you have any significant magic uses?
We only have a few magic users here. We have 2 at the front gate, 2 at the heavy fortifications, and a few others that are not to be disclosed.
That is valid enough. I understand that you'll have several citizens who frequent this area, the port.
Right.
Correct? Are a good many of them also magic users?
No, they're mostly civilians. Magic is a tight niche for most.
Which is why I'm asking, because it can help narrow it down. Would you?
We are unaware of any magic users, if there are any.
You're
But-
too undisclosed. They're accounted for.
There are none who work in the shipyard that we know of.
But they're accounted for last night.
They don't really work the nights, typically. Typically by sundown they go home.
Yes, but I mean, did they go home?
Yes. There's no instabilities there. The only instability you want those two.
Those?
I want to talk to the two.
I
Roscoe
will-
again.
Yeah, I'll go talk to them.
Yeah, you kind of see the two of them.
So, between the two of you, who definitely didn't sleep at all during the shift,
Not at all.
you had eyes on the door at all times.
Well, we kind of walked over. Me and my mate posted right here. One of us sits at one hinge of the door, the other sits at the other hinge. That way it's like we put our backs on it,
You
we feel the door open, then you know it pushes open, right? I thought it was a pretty good, ingenious idea in case any of us fall asleep, which we didn't. Didn't fall asleep.
I'm vibe checking.
So
Make an
Yeah, I
insight
was
check.
gonna do an insight check.
Because my vibe check was super
14.
mid.
Well, look, you kind of get the sense that he probably didn't fall asleep, but he might be paranoid in thinking he might have.
So did
So
you
wait, is only
hear
one of them
the-
talking?
One of them's been doing most of the talking, the other one's kind of just been quiet. But
I'm eyeing the one that's quiet.
So did you hear the glass break?
no, we didn't hear the glass break.
Do y'all do checks? Like, do y'all do rounds around the building, or is it just the door you check?
Well, I mean, we just check inside, but we saw that, and we saw the crates were missing
When did you notice the window?
when we went in to check.
Can I-
At the
Which
end of
was
our shift, at
4
about 4
o'clock.
Yeah.
So the only time that you are inside the building is at the beginning and the end of your shift.
Yeah, we
So there's an entire 4-hour period that you're
4
not
hours.
inside.
Yeah, could have been gone, I guess.
Can I do
Yes.
an insight check on the one that's being quiet? Like, can I try and read his body language?
Sure. Trying to get a vibe check from him.
Ooh, vibe check him.
11.
11. I'd say it's hard to kind of pick up on what he's thinking in his armor, but you kind of see him kind of like just nodding occasionally in agreement, or just kind of it is a look of despair that he has on his face.
Is there
I want to
anything-
look. I want to look at him and say, "What do you have to say on this?"
Did you notice anything?
I didn't say anything. The same. Yeah, he's been telling everything from my side though. We didn't see anybody.
Not you.
I didn't see anything. I mean, nothing but occasional patrol. But
I'm gonna intimidate him. I'm gonna.
how are you doing it?
Okay.
And what are you trying to get out of this?
Information, anything. Like, see if his friend is like picking up for him. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure, yeah.
trying to
Cover for him.
cover for him or
Yeah.
something. I think it would be best for all of us involved if you told us everything you knew. And I have a feeling we're not being told everything you know. Now, here's what's going to happen. You're going to tell me whether you have heard anything of the sort, seen, done anything that could have led to this.
Make an intimidation check.
13 plus 8.
21.
21.
Stupid. 21.
Uh-huh.
Look. Nobody came by that would have had anything to do with this.
And you?
And he kind of looked back at the guy you're talking. Right. Look, that's not untrue. Okay. There was nobody who came by that. Firstly, even got close to the door, and secondly, even broke a window. Like I said, it was patrol and just people we knew.
You've mentioned nothing about yourselves, though. What were you doing? Exactly as you said.
Guarding the door.
Have you heard anything? Any whispers?
I didn't hear anything.
No, I'm talking about today. About who it could have been.
There's been lots of talk and speculation.
What are the rumors?
People say it was ghosts. People say it was. I think.
Ghosts.
Well,
I
right
think
now
it
we're
was a
thinking it's
ghost.
you, and if you don't have any sort of input on
How
this,
I didn't leave patrol.
You're the only one that has been here.
It's a rounded corner here. If you look down here,
And-
it's a U. You'd notice if I took
So
it.
Here's my question. You said that there's people you did know who had stopped by during patrol, correct?
He kind of
Who?
Yes.
The sooner you answer, the sooner we can get away from you, and the sooner we can find this to save your ass and your job. Who came by? I don't care if it's someone you knew or not. Everyone is a suspect. Even the person closest to you could be a thief.
You're gonna get locked up unless you
I
snitch.
thought you were gonna just stop there. You're gonna get locked
I
up.
would say, Nastani, depending on what you meant by this, you can either roll persuasion or intimidation.
I have a highly important clarifying question. During this time, and you can narrow it down if there's a specific time that stood out to you.
Persuasion. Sounds good.
You're telling us you heard nothing. Did you hear nothing suspicious, or did you hear nothing at all?
21.
21. And who are you asking this to?
Both of them.
Both of them. First, I'll answer Nastani's question. As she did ask it first, and it might be pertinent, but hold on to that. It was nobody who wasn't supposed to be here. It was.
Was it people also doing patrol, or was it just a leisurely walk by?
Look, he kind of. It was my lass, who also does perimeter around the wall.
Did she come by just for a chat?
Yes.
How long was your chat?
She
and
was
did you?
just here. She came by to check in, see how I'm doing, and wish me good night and all that. And she's just a second, but she doesn't have anything to do with it. She's part of the Isle of God.
What did you do once she left? Or what did she do?
Did you
when she
leave
parted ways?
at all with her? Was she just standing
No,
next to
I stood right here, and she came over and talked. My mate saw me.
And
Listen, I'm not saying that your lass is part of anything, but that everyone, you're a suspect, she's a suspect. Anybody who's near this building is a suspect. Hell, they could even call us
Well,
suspects for
she
being
was-
here now.
It was just her and her patrol partner.
What are the names?
One second. I knew you'd ask. Let me pull the name. It's all this one. Should have been ready.
The worst question for any DM to hear.
What's their name?
What's their names? What's their kids'
Steve.
names? What's their
Oh, I forgot we did that.
Yes.
Oh, we did do that.
Oh my God.
What are your grandchildren? Do you have pictures?
Yeah, where's a picture of your grandkids if you love them so much?
Where's your wallet? I want pictures. Do you have a scrapbook, man?
Lass's name is Estera, but I don't know who her patrol partner is.
Estera?
Estera, yeah.
Do you know what he looks like?
He's wearing Isle of God armor. He's a human, I guess. Humanoid. It's kind of hard to see with all the fur and
Listen, I'm not saying.
Wise guy.
I'm not saying that she is, suspicious, but she might have seen or heard something that you might have not because of fresh eye. Talking to her could help. That's why I ask.
Well, she's here too on patrol, so I mean, you
Where
go
does
talk
she
to her. But
Let's go talk to her.
Where does she patrol then?
she does the dog patrols.
Dog patrols?
I think she's on patrol now.
Alright, we'll talk to her after we're done talking to you.
You telling the Isle of Car officer here with you?
Yes, I am assuming, but you had a question?
Mm-hmm.
So, as you ask your question, I didn't hear anything like at all. I mean, it was quiet. But that's how it gets, you have your back on a wall for 4 hours and you can't move. You kind of sometimes just space out,
Space
Can
out
you-
or sleep?
Space out.
So-
I'm not in sleep.
If we're by docks, right? Can you hear water
Right now,
crashing?
Yeah, you can.
I assume things get quiet at night. You're on watch. Nothing to listen to but the crash of the waves.
Sometimes it's calm. So
Was it calm last night?
it was calm towards the end of our shift. Yeah.
The end of your shift? What
Yeah, towards the end. Yeah.
What about the beginning?
I mean, it was rougher waters that day, and then
Did it sort of gradually die down or cut off altogether?
I don't quite remember. I kind of tuned it out. I've been doing this for years.
Did Estera happen to stop by at the beginning of your shift?
She came by towards the closing end.
And you said she said goodbye and left. What about her partner? What did he do?
He kind of just waited by the side, waiting for her to finish.
And he went nowhere. He just stood there, nothing.
I mean, he kind of just was being patient with us, I suppose, but I don't.
But you can confirm he was there, as to the side within view the whole time.
I'm not gonna. I wasn't focused on him.
What,
I'm
okay,
talking,
what about your
talking
partner?
to the other one,
To the other one.
who was, you know.
Yeah, he was there, but he didn't quite do much.
Like you saw him within your sight the entire time they were talking.
They were talking, and well, I don't know. He kind of just was waiting on the side, and he eventually told her we have to go. But I mean,
So he was there, standing there the whole time. Every detail counts. That's why I repeat this.
Okay. He was standing over there in the corner, and kind of just, you know, they had a moment where she gave him, you know, some food or something, and eventually, he said, "Come on, we gotta go." And
Can you confirm it was food?
Yeah, it was a sandwich. It was pretty good. He shared it.
Well,
I say we go talk to this girl.
yeah.
Do you have the wrapper, the container that came in?
No.
It's like, why do you want my sandwich, lady?
It's like, interesting. You threw it away. Why did you do that?
You didn't recycle it?
You're going away for a long time, buddy.
How many times do we have to tell you, old man?
I'd say that we go talk to this lady.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
Let me ask the Lifguard. Do you know the Proscar he's referring to?
Are you talking about the dog patrol last night, Estera? I overheard. She does routine patrols about the same clock hours as he does, so that they can leave at the same time. But I can go send for her if you want.
What do you
Also,
know
can
about
get
this
the name
unknown
of the,
partner?
partner that she had?
I can do that.
And send him as well.
All right. He kind of takes a moment, pulls out a notebook, begins to write something, rips it off, and hands it to one of the crosscar who's standing there. He's like, "Ew, go."
So, what was in that sandwich? It was that good.
There's a beet and some
A
ham
beet.
and some ham.
That's a
I don't.
Sounds pretty
Does
good.
those mix?
just a beaten hand. That's an odd combo. If it's just beaten hand.
I'm pretty hungry. All
And
this
these are the
investigating.
hands that we have our security
If you had to
in.
eat what we do, it would be gold.
I mean, fair. I was just. Don't have that combo.
We
These are
don't
the
use-
hands that our
So-
security is in here.
Who
You
do
see
you
why I
think
want
did
to
it?
leave?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
You asking the Oscar?
Yeah.
This gotta be something crazy. Like, I don't think just crazy disappear. I think it's probably gonna be some sea ghost or something.
Not
I had
magic
tales.
user?
I mean, I don't know, magic. Not very.
A sea ghost.
Does
Wonderful.
Estera know any magic?
And we don't have any weaponry to deal with
No,
a sea ghost.
She's just Olivka. I've heard tales of sea ghosts. Sea ghosts is pretty crazy, but it explains why they would want harpoons.
Why would
Why?
sea ghosts want baboons if they.
Because they have ships.
Sea ghosts have ships.
They-
Yeah.
What would they
ghost
need a
ships,
ship
yes.
for? With
So they want
actual harpoons.
spear guns on their sea ghost ships.
Well, I didn't say the ship was a ghost. I just said they were.
For what use would
Wouldn't they
a
want
sea ghost
spirit
have a
guns?
ship?
You gotta have a real boat to put stuff on it, right? That's why sea ghosts.
But like usually
steal.
when you hear tales of sea ghosts, they have like.
I've heard
ghost
some
ships.
crazy stay
But they usually have ghost ships. It's not like they're gonna, you know.
I heard rumours so they said there are sea ghosts.
I think we're
There
wasting
are
our time.
That's in
It wasn't a
Cilicia.
ghost
That's not
ship.
here.
I have a question.
Well, this is a ghost.
I have a question. Is there any transport that goes out in the mornings?
Like,
So say they did get the crates out of the window. How did they get them out of the docks?
Did you have any I'm gonna turn to the commanding guard. What ships left at port this morning?
No ships have left this
No
morning.
ships.
What about carriages or anything?
We've only had number shipments come in, building many ships out there, all hands on deck, as they say.
Could
I'm
we?
saying, did you have any
Wagons?
carriages or wagons leaving in the morning?
We had the supplying wagons leave without the supplies, and I assume you know that we take the wagons just as seriously as the people here.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we were just wondering if there was any.
Is there
So you
any
did
way?
check them on the way out, is what you're telling us.
We check every wagon in and out, do a full strip search. We also run it over with our mages, so
And no
detecting
ships have left the
magical-
port yet.
no, not today.
Is there any way that we could split up, 2 or 3 of us, question the lass and her partner, and the others of us investigate the ships?
I have a question about the ships. Just before we do split up, if we are to. What? And this isn't me trying to be sketchy anyway, but what time did the king's ship arrive? Was it today or was it yesterday?
Today, he arrived today.
Like this morning?
Yes.
Would the chaos of that might have hidden a boat leaving? Or any other... Because I understand that y'all have been very busy with that, with the security of that. So would that possibly give leeway for whoever stole this to steal away with a wagon or a boat?
I'd say if anything, it would make it harder.
Yeah?
There are more patrols. More Eilifgar are brought in from the king's personal request. His regiment, as it is deployed here, there to sweep everything, make sure things are up to par for his visit.
Mm.
And we're going to keep watch.
And have you investigated the king's ship?
Say.
No, we do not have those permissions, as he is the king, and if you are to say that the king's ship is the one smuggling spear guns out of his fortress,
We are not saying that he is the one smuggling it out, but if someone was ballsy enough to try that.
Or use his ship as a cover?
the issue arises, how does it get off? Why take his ship?
Trying to smuggle it to the capital.
Why would you need spear guns?
Would you question somebody that was loading something onto the king's ship?
Yes, we would. Because there shouldn't be anything loaded on the king's ship.
Okay.
Nastani,
But he is the king.
do you or Herb know any magic that can shrink things?
Would I don't know any myself, but would I have knowledge of?
Shrinking magic?
Yes.
Make an Arcana check. And I guess Herb can too.
I'll roll that for him.
12.
12.
That is not nearly as big as I was hoping it was. Herb.
Come on, Herb.
23.
Sonny, you're not really sure, but Herb takes out his parchment and scribbles. Yes.
Okay.
Herb, what school of magic is it in? What kind of magic user would know that spell?
Can take a second. Turns it around. It is horribly misspelled. Alteration.
The L is backwards.
Do any of the mages know alteration magic?
Many, yes. Most of them do.
Okay.
What about silence?
Silence? Is that a spell?
It is, yes. One of our party members who's in another city right now knows it. So we know it's a magic spell to be used.
It would be safe to assume that if one of your party members knows it, our mages know that and follow.
Fair enough.
Who were the mages on duty last night?
The mages do not leave where the mages are. We have the lower end ones stay over by the...
Even if they have to use the restroom?
They switch out every 12 hours.
So you would notice if a mage had left.
Yes, there would be one missing at the post.
Because they are more smaller numbers than.
They are not wealthy resource such as others.
And while they're not on duty at their post, where do they go? Home?
Barrack down.
So, who wasn't on duty last night between midnight and 4?
Specifically out of the 4 that are at the guard gate, or the 4 that watch other locations?
Someone who can use magic.
There are 8 people then.
Do they often socialize with the guards?
They all report directly to the commander. Even the lower end ones. The commander sees over all that, and he makes sure to keep them in check. Each mage is not necessarily one to be uncompensated, so to speak.
Is that guard back with the last?
I would say about at this point, yes. He comes back. The one that was sent to go get Astera. Kind of see he's walking back with a member of the Isle of Gar. You kind of see.
Does she have the patrol partner with her?
She has a person with her. She kind of. What's this about? I don't have much time. We have to get back to patrol.
We're investigating something, and we heard you were nearby this area from midnight to 4.
See her shoot a sharp glance over towards the one Haraskar who's just.
We're very thorough in our questioning. Is this the partner that was with you during that time?
No,
Where is he now?
I don't know. He was a new recruit.
New recruit?
Yes, something about just taking on patrol.
And you don't know his name?
I think he said his name was something. Archibald?
Archibald? Archibald?
No, Archibald. Because that would be normal. No, he said. It sounded like, but it was like Archimian Bold.
Did you hear or
Archimian
see
the
I
Bold.
don't care enough to learn it.
Did you hear or
Touching.
see anything strange last night?
No, regular patrol.
Did you hear? Well, let's be more specific. When you visited the guard over here, did you hear anything or see anything out of the ordinary?
No, nothing I wasn't expecting.
What were you expecting?
Him on guard duty.
Nothing else.
Nope.
Was it your idea or Archieman the Bald's to stop here?
Not his. He doesn't know them.
Where is your
Why?
station?
My station is patrolling the outer docks here.
Did you see any mages last night out of their post?
No, I did not.
And did Archibald, whatever his God, that is a weird name. Whatever it was he interested in whatever they were guarding? Did he seem intrigued, learning what
No,
they
he
got?
seemed rather like he would rather move on.
I don't know.
Did it seem like he knew something more?
More what?
Like maybe he wanted to move on for a different reason. Did it seem like he wanted to move on because he was eager to get back to his post, or did he know that, or seem like maybe he knew something was going
My
to
assumption is that he's a new recruit who was not all right with taking a minor detour on our regular patrol.
Have you ever seen him talking to any of the mages?
I haven't seen him since I last saw him last night.
And was that the first time you saw him?
It was.
And then the Isle guard that we've been working with.
Mm.
What do you know about this new recruit?
I don't manage the new recruits, but I have no assumption to believe it was not one, as that is a influx we have been having.
Who could we talk to about new recruits?
There's a number of chains we could go up to. It depends on the regiment, but specifically for the ones who assigned dock patrol, we'd have to go into the walls to talk about that.
Oh, crazy. Almost like I wanted to go there first.
All right.
Are you sure there was nothing out of the ordinary you saw on your way here, or on the way back?
Saying this to Astera.
Yes.
I didn't see anything strange. It was a normal, peaceful night.
Okay. I say we go into the walls.
Alright.
They're in the walls.
Well,
Let's see. I can
why
send
did you get that sandwich? Sounded delightful.
as you're looking for the recruiting officer.
Yes.
Writes another note, hands to the Roskar.
Mm.
All right.
I am curious about that sandwich.
You're kidding?
Chris
It
would
was
also.
expensive.
Surprising for beans.
And ham.
And ham, yeah.
I could catch a hog in the woods and make a ham sandwich.
Oh, really?
Probably for less than what you paid for your dumb sandwich.
I'm so glad you're here. Who are you? Why do I care?
I
Just,
would care because you might lose your job if you don't give us answers.
Over a sandwich.
I'm not over a sandwich, over if you ever had anyway.
Some
thank you for
wench
your-
bragging about making sandwiches from a hog she found in the woods.
This is your last.
He's like,
Anyway. Thank you for your time.
we done here?
If you're done answering.
Do you have any more questions?
You seem pretty hostile for somebody that has
Yes, I'm
nothing
being
to hide.
bothered. Correct. I was being bothered to be told that I can go catch a hog in the woods.
Yes. Well,
Mm.
seeing as you seem to have nothing better to do than to talk to your men.
No, I patrol.
Well, you
You
weren't
had
doing
patrol
that.
whenever you came
I
to
am
see
on
him.
patrol right now, so
Oh,
if
and
we
you
are
care
done
so
here,
much.
I will get back to it.
You were also on patrol when you came to see him, were you not?
Yes, I was.
Tells me you care a lot about your job.
I
And
care
we-
about certain people more.
That's so touching.
I'm glad you found it out, and I'm glad that you have called me over here to tell me that with your tones. So, are we done?
For now. Let's go check out the wall.
Alright, she leaves. And with that being said, you guys head off to go investigate the wall. As you do. For the sake of time, he leads you all the way there, and you eventually run into this kind of more scrawny looking fellow. He's kind of sitting behind the desk as the Olive Guard kind of pushes open the door. His kind of uniform is on a stand off to the side. You kind of see he's just kind of in his civilian clothes, kind of relaxing. Hi! What's this about?
So obviously there's two directions that you can enter for this wall, correct?
There's two. What's going on?
I would like to know the name of any new recruits.
Oh my
Um,
god. Okay.
Let's narrow it down.
Here's a
yes.
book.
Your
That
guard.
were
what is
working
this about?
last
What is this
night.
about? What is,
Okay.
tell me what's going on.
We are investigating the missing crates from the warehouse down there, so we're trying to track down anybody who had been in the nearby area. Anyway, continuing on, the guard Estera, I believe her name,
Yeah.
the patrol partner that she had last night from midnight to 4, what was their name?
Okay.
If we're able to narrow, if that helps narrow
Let me
it
look
down.
through my catalogs. Here we go. And he takes a good like hour.
She said it was something like a chemobol. It was a weird name, she said.
Archinidold.
Archinidold?
Archinidold.
Archinidold.
Archinidold Brandt.
Archinidold Brandt.
And where are the entrances and exits to this portion of the wall?
Right where the gate is.
And
That's-
the gate,
those are the
the
two
gate,
entrances.
and the gate is guarded by mages. Is that correct?
Two, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Am I done here? Can you?
When did
No.
Arcanadol join the guard, the Roskar?
He's been here for a few weeks, almost a month now.
Where would we might find him?
He is not on duty today. Oh wait, hold on. He was supposed to show up, but I haven't received the catalogue that he has checked in.
Where might he? Where does?
Do
where
you
does he
do
reside?
background checks on anyone you hire?
Oh, it seemed like a...
Well, do you know any other
So no.
information besides that he works here? Do you know that
He
where he
was
lives?
recruited at one of the kind of larger gatherings in Cody.
So like a job fair?
Kind of, yeah. We send out recruiters, and then they find people. They take them through the kind of basic training for about a month or so, and then they bring them here.
And you said where?
Coley.
Coley.
Yes.
We just came from Coley.
Can you tell us where Arcanadol resides?
I don't know that.
Barracks Town.
It's likely. I mean, it's likely, but you know, the members of the local Isle of Gar are free to have their own homes and free to do that of their own such.
But if someone was not local, because I assume he was not Peaceful Coley, where would they? Where do
You house them.
Where are they housed? The ones who aren't local.
The ones that aren't local typically buy property if they can. They can afford it. If not, typically falling into one of the barracks would be an option.
So
The
you-
barracks.
Who would have access to your employees' addresses?
Well, I have the barracks list right here, and if you give me half an hour, I can find if he lived there. But I will have to go through every single book.
Are the barracks guarded?
Yes, yeah, this patrol all throughout.
So
Barracks
they
are,
would
yeah.
notice if somebody had left last night.
I suppose.
Well, would it be possible for us to even help you look at the books if that helps? If it's permitted.
It's not.
Oh. That's all right.
Do you need me to look through the books?
Yes, we need to know where Arcanadol is.
Give me some time. He takes out book one.
Is it not alphabetized? Like, can you not?
No, it's organized by house.
Oh, wonderful.
And he kind of points towards the large bookshelf. Yes, it is the entire bookshelf.
Okay. Could we
Please, if I knew a house that he was.
escorted to talk to somebody that was guarding one of the barracks, the closest barrack to the docks?
Are you kidding me? Are you being serious? All right. Well, just so you know, there's over 200.
Near the docks?
Do you have paperwork on which? Do you have paperwork on which guards he had been assigned with up until this point?
I do not personally write down who lives in the barracks. The leader of that one.
Not who
comes
he
in-
lives with, but if he was assigned with Aristata,
A stab.
sure, last night. The night before that, who was he with?
Like, does he often switch? Like, the way that your patrols work, do they often switch off, or do they usually get?
They can
assignments
put in
requested?
requests to switch off, but typically a night crew stays with the night times and a day crew stays with the day times.
So, was it a request to be switched off that shift for him?
Astarta said that this was the first time she had worked
Ever
with him.
So, had he requested to be switched?
If this was the first time she had worked with him, and presumably this Estella has been here for a while, then I would assume he would have had to put in change for a shift.
Where do we find the records for that?
Give me a minute. Yes, there. Last night,
Yes, 12 to 4.
12 to 4, last night, Friday for 12 to 4, yes. It does seem that there is a file here for a switch to overall night shifts, yes. But for the rest of the month. But he was supposed to come in this morning to talk about it, to complete his regular shift, and then he would start once again at the past midnight hours.
So,
That is terrible news. Because now we need to know where he lives.
I mean, we can always, if he slept in, we can always bring him here for you.
He might not even live in the barracks. This is 300 books. Are you sure?
Is there an easier way to track him down?
Outside of his personal life,
So,
he didn't report in. He didn't check in through the front gate, so we know he's outside the front gate. That's about what I can
So
tell
he's
you.
not in the docks at all.
No, he wouldn't be in the docks because
He hasn't checked
they
in.
check everybody in.
So he wouldn't be on a ship.
He wouldn't be on
Is
a
there a
ship. He wouldn't
possibility
be.
that he didn't leave
Does he-
last night?
Do they check out at the end of their shifts?
Yes. You clock
You
out.
have record of that last night.
Yes, I do. It takes another 20 minutes or so, and here it is. Haha, clocked out right here,
What time?
on time.
Somebody doesn't like their job.
Somebody has a lot of books and has a lot of...
It's not our
It's
fault that
not
Crossguard has
our
a
fault.
terrible filing system.
I wish that somebody would have been something other than pen and paper here, but...
So he talked down.
These are the times we live in.
Goggle docs.
And is there a does he check himself out, or does somebody do it for him?
He checks in with the station down there. The same one with the mages. In, out. Everything through that one
Maybe
entrance.
to be permitted to go down there and see that area of where they
Do you know who his,
like that.
do you know who his direct supervisor is?
His direct supervisor, he doesn't... They all report to the general kind of leader of their regiment.
And who is that?
I really hate to be making you do your job.
It's gonna take about an hour now to look through. But as an hour passes, McCollins is his commanding officer.
How do we find McCollins?
Oh my god.
How did you not expect that?
No, I know where this is going, and I know, but here's the thing. I don't know how deep this rabbit hole is going to go, because then you're going to ask, well, who does McCollins report for? Who does this?
We need to find this one man, this archer.
I'm telling you, it's going to
David.
be hard for me to help you find him if he didn't clock in today.
Is
Which he
McCollins
didn't.
on? Is McCollins here today?
Yes, McCollins is here today.
Where is he? At?
Oh my god. Okay. Takes another.
Do you not
You
know
don't.
off
You
the
don't
top
know
of his...
where he
I
is.
no, I don't know off the top. I hold the records. I do not know these people
Is
personally.
the other Ilifgar still here?
Yeah, he's still there.
Do you have any idea where McCollins is?
I do not know who McCollins is. I assume. he's one
And
of
these are the
officers.
people protecting my city.
But it is all tracked down in the records, so here we are.
Records.
So, as time passes, takes him about an hour. All right, here is McCollins. Everything to know about McCollins. You want to know about McCollins? Here it is. He's been serving for 6 years, and he's made his way to lead a regiment here, and that's great and all. Why did you want to know about him?
That's not the
Where
important
can we
do we
find
find
him
him?
right now?
Okay, where is he right now? Well,
He got off while this guy was searching.
you guys have been here for 4 hours.
I was gonna ask, has a ship
In this
left
room alone.
in this time has a
You've
ship
been
left?
inside the wall. There's no windows in this room.
Okay, so we wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know just by watching.
Would
McCollins is in charge of the shifts from midnight to about noon.
where is he in charge?
Now,
Does he have an office? Does he patrol
he
just
would-
like everyone else?
He would be presiding over the patrols, probably in one of the watchtowers, or at least he was.
Okay. Do you know which watchtower?
27. Watchtower 27. At the
He
end of
got
the wall.
somewhere.
What time is it?
Going outside to look. As you guys walk outside, it's pitch black outside.
Oh my god.
It is pitch black outside.
Oh god.
Okay, can we ask somebody if a ship is left? Who would we ask for that?
Just go to the nearest guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many?
I don't know. It's like,
How
there's one
recently?
leaving right now. Pink ship left a while ago.
What?
That ship you're talking about?
Well,
Yeah,
guys,
that's
it
okay.
looks like we're not going to a
End the episode. No, I'm kidding. Okay, how many ships total have left?
I don't.
Has it been many?
I'm just a copy.
Where's Watchtower 27?
Are you asking the Ilifgar who's been patiently waiting all day with you
Mhm.
guys?
Yeah.
As you guys are kind of at the base of the wall here, he kind of looks and points out. See that one all the way down there?
Alright, I'm gonna walk down there.
You guys begin the very long walk over there. Now, as you walk over there, as the moon rises over the horizon, I think that's where we're going to call it for tonight. Can't wait to see the episode name for
Yeah.
this one.
Oh lord.
Oh my god. Anyway, thank you guys for hanging in there and learning all the deep, deep, deep knowledge of how a large fortress is run
Apparently, for
in
the book.
an age before technology.
Like at least
They can have magic.
labels,
Like
alphabetized.
It is.
can't
It is, and there it is. But here we are.
they? Here we are.
So, thanks everybody for watching. Good night. Hope you guys had fun. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and
Hey,
tell
do you
us.
remember the start of the episode when I was talking about knowing a tool?
Yeah. Who's the tool, Ethan? Who's the tool?
Who do
I
you
wonder.
think is
Who do you- Who do you think is?
Who's guilty? See if you can solve this
Yeah.
Did
crime.
McCollins have anything to do with it?
Did we
Should
waste
we have
4
investigated the
hours?
ship?
Was it old man Abernathy down at the docks?
Which tool?
Let's
Wait, we
see.
didn't question him. Dang, old man Abernathy could have done it.
I think we were already questioning
Will
his
the
sanity.
mystery gang solve it out next time?
No.
We will
The
see.
answer is no.
At Guard Tower 27 next time on the Wayward 7. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Good night.